Hi guys, my name is Jim Bomer and this is my new YardBeast 3514 chipper. So here are the pieces unboxed: the hopper, discharge chute, pull handle, 4 pneumatic tires. These are the axle assemblies, a bag of various bits and pieces and instructions that I'll have a look at in a little bit. And then here's the machine. The main bulk of the machine looks very solid. At first impression, that's pretty decent gauge steel that it's made out of. Welding looks like it's a good quality job. And of course, a 429cc 14 HP Kohler engine powering the whole machine. One of the things I liked when I looked at the online reviews of this product was the ease for opening the actual chipping the guard for the flywheel. So as you can see, this is all very sturdily built. Here's the flywheel. I believe this is about a 50-pound flywheel with a single knife blade. That knife blade is so sharp I could easily cut myself on it. It's tool steel, so it all looks pretty solid. The bearing feels very smooth, just turning this by hand. All looks very solid. Here are the various bits and pieces, and I've unpacked them. A bag of nuts and bolts, some protective gear, quite nice for them to include that, earmuffs, glasses and gloves. Manual about the clutch, manual and warranty for the engine, and a spiral bound user manual. So I guess my next step is to give that a good read. I just wanted to show you the machine with the belt cover removed. This is the centrifugal clutch. It's actually going to make the machine easier to start. I wanted to get a feel for the belt tension while they're still new and factory adjusted. One of the confusing things about the manual is it's quite hard to figure out whether the engine has any kind of gear reduction system from the documents, but if you take a look at the back of the crankcase here, you can see there's no gear reduction on here, so you don't have to worry about a second oil system. You just have to worry about the filler gap over here, and make sure you do put oil in it, because it doesn't come with any oil in there. Right, now the awkward bit starts. Got to get the wheels on, so this thing's quite heavy. Just going to slide it back, and it says to start with this side, which is where the fixed wheel goes, and this side will be a steerable wheel. So I'm going to try and slide it back and see if I can get the fixed wheel on while it's still on the pallet, and I guess I'll have to do something with jacks. The manual says is for me to put the other axle on now, but as you can see, it's going to be a little hard for me to do on my own, especially. So I'm actually going to try and put the wheels on that axle, that end, and then hopefully that will let me reposition so I can get to the bits I need to put the other axle on. So I'm going to use my trolley jack, block of wood, and just jack it up a little, try and get those wheels on. Well, as you can see, I've got one set of wheels on, and I'm going to try to do the other now just by, I've just slid this thing back most of the way off the pallet. I'm going to try jacking it up so I can pull the pallet away and get the front axle bolted on. So that's about it for the wheels. Handle. No tractor mount on this, unfortunately, so I have to do something else to get it hooked up to the garden tractor. I'm sure that won't be too hard to do. Okay, next up is the hopper. Just goes on with 9 of these 1-inch 5/16 hex bolts. Next up is the outlet. Sits on there. A couple of 3/8 coach bolts for this. And finally, turn it around. Okay, well, cover's more or less back on. It basically goes back on with these 2 screws, but unfortunately there's this 3rd little screw that holds the document canister on. To be honest, I'd happily just take that off, but it also holds the top of this cover down against a sort of metal bar to stop it rattling. So I'm going to need to put it back on, but boy, getting your fingers in here is no mean feat. So I'll probably come up with a better way to fasten that, because I'm not going to want to mess around like that if I want to take it off in the woods and just have a look at the drive belt. Anyway, there we go. That is the assembly pretty much done, and we're ready to put oil in the crankcase and give it a whirl. Alright, so construction's finished, assembly's finished, and now it's time to make sure we fill the engine with oil before we try starting it up for the first time. Pretty straightforward. The filler cap is here, so just tip it in here until it just starts dribbling out, and you are good to go as long as you did that with the machine level. Of course, the dipstick won't work either if the machine's not leveled, so you definitely want to take a few minutes to find a level patch of ground. Oil's in. I've already put gas in. I always use at least 89 octane for small engines like this. Obviously it's just straight gas. It's a 4-stroke engine, no gas-oil mixture, just regular 89 octane gas from the pump. And now we can try starting it up. Alrighty. First thing I'm going to do is put some earplugs in. The machine came with a decent looking set of earmuffs, but I'm going to use plugs. And because it is going to be quite loud as it gets running. Also, I have shatterproof glasses that I wear anyway, but you definitely do want to use eye protection with a machine like this. So, 2 levers here. Just below the air filter. The top one is the choke, so I'm going to turn the choke to on, which is actually this way. I'm going to turn the fuel cutoff to on, which is this way. And then what you want to do is pull gently until you feel resistance, so that's the beginning of the next compression cycle, and then give it a firm pull. Then turn off the choke. Flywheel spinning. It's very important that you don't open anything up until that has come to a complete stop. You can hear it quite easily. In fact, if you look under this cover, you can still see the drive belts moving. Once they're stopped, you know good. You may have heard when it started as well, the engine sort of revving for a while, and then you can hear the centrifugal clutch kick in, and the actual flywheel starts to spin up a couple of seconds after the motor starts. Pretty easy to start. These Kohler engines have a reputation for starting on first pull, so hopefully won't have too many troubles there. I guess we should go and try it out. chippings look pretty good to me. They're quite fine. Of course, have to see how that develops as the blade wears, but I'm assuming I keep the blade sharp, they'll keep on coming out like this, so I'm quite happy with that. It's a very useful size for us around here. Spread them around the forest and hearths and stuff. Hot work out here, but we're nearly done. I'm going to try a bigger piece of wood now. This is a stem from a young maple I took down a couple of weeks ago. The spec for this machine says it can deal with up to 3.5 inch diameter. This is just under that. I make it about, it's about 3 inches of wood with another quarter or so of bark. But a good enough test, really. Anything bigger than this I'm perfectly happy to log and use for our indoor fire. Beware, I've seen some video commercials for some of these machines where people take a 45-degree cut through the wood and measure along there. Obviously, if you do that, it's going to come out nearly 1.5 times bigger than the actual diameter. So do make sure you're seeing a straight cut across the end of the piece of wood if someone's trying to prove to you what the machine can eat. So I guess I'll start with the thick end first. Let's get fired up and see how it handles this. Well, as you may have noticed, that didn't go quite as I had expected it to. The machine has no trouble getting through that slice of wood, but it actually pulls it in so quickly that it's kind of trying to slow down the flywheel. You can probably hear it there, slowing it right down. It's actually quite hard to pull it out once it's been grabbed. It tends to try and pull itself in, and obviously I don't want my hands going in there. As the flywheel slows down, it tends to come loose, so you can actually stop it, let the flywheel speed up again, and then feed it back in. I don't know, maybe there's something I can adjust there with the clearance of the blade against the block that it sort of scissors against. I guess I may give YardBeast a ring and see if they can recommend what to do about that. Having said all of that, it does have the power to go through that big piece. It just tries to suck it in too fast, so I'm quite happy about that. No doubt I'll get more skillful as well at feeding larger pieces in. One final comment is just to look at how far it's thrown the chips. If we can pan the camera around, it's throwing the chips when I have the chute fully up. I'm about a yard here. 2, 3. So at least a dozen yards. I guess that may save us some raking of them after we're done. Anyway, that's it. This is the YardBeast 3514, and if I have any updates on it as I get to know it more, I'll post another video. Thanks very much for watching.